Good morning, Vagabuddies. What's going on? Welcome back. We are in Orlando, and we just finished Playlist Live. But everybody's leaving, but we're not. We're sticking around.
So we're here with Visit Florida, and we're gonna go check out the historic coast, St. Augustine, Jacksonville. But first and foremost, we're gonna check out the city that we're in right now,
Orlando. Yeah. All right, you guys, welcome back. We are just outside of the city of Orlando in Wekiva Springs State Park, and we got a pretty awesome day lined up.
My only experience of Orlando so far has been through Playlist Live and the theme parks. This is like totally different than what I expected. If you look at Florida from a map, from an aerial perspective, you can see that so much of it is like this giant wetland. There's a crystal clear spring here that puts out some beautiful water. So there's a nice bar, there's a good vibe. It's definitely not what I expected, but I'm stoked to hop in the water because apparently it's 72 degrees Fahrenheit all year round.
So we're at Wekiva Island, a secret spot in suburbia where all the locals go and where we run the Wekiva Sup and Swim. So what we do is we go upriver to the actual birthplace of the Wekiva River, Wekiva Springs. First magnitude spring with 55 million gallons of water flowing out of it. So about 2 hours, about 3 miles, and just all kinds of amazing wildlife on the way.
Right in front of me is a little baby alligator. Check it out.
Okay, so we just made it up to the springs, which are the source of the fresh water that's flowing through the river. It's really beautiful here. It's completely surprising to find this just a couple minutes north of downtown Orlando. It's crazy to think that most of Orlando was built in the 1980s after Disney World was built in 1971. These lands have been the home of the Seminole tribe for thousands of years. And at first it's kind of hard to see how you could survive here, but then when you look more closely, there's fresh water, there's tons of wildlife, and it's even possible to farm.
Have you ever had a siphon before?
No.
You should definitely do a siphon. It's
All right.
kind of like a chemistry experiment.
All right. So this is a historic neighborhood called Winter Park, which is founded in the 1880s as like a winter resort for people living on the East Coast. So in honor of that, I got the siphon method. Kind of a steampunk 1800s version of making coffee, and it is a really nice way to drink it. So here's that.
Definitely a much needed caffeination break after paddling around all afternoon. But we're gonna drink these coffees and then head over to another interesting little historic area, one that's close to Marko's heart, and it's gonna be fun, so stay tuned. Just want to talk a little bit about how awesome that entire experience was. Like, to come to Orlando and see a really gorgeous little slice of nature from a stand-up paddleboard was a really, really awesome experience for me. Not to mention just, I was blown away by the sheer amount of wildlife there. There's so much wildlife.
Whenever I go to a place that's relatively new, a lot of new construction, I oftentimes wonder, what was this place like before all of this? And that's the essence of this video, try to find out what Orlando is about at its core. Right now we're driving through one of the residential areas. It's very, very chill. And right here is a house of one of my favorite humans of all time, Mr. Jack Kerouac. So this seemingly ordinary house is the former home of my favorite writer, Jack Kerouac. He was living here when he became famous for his most popular book, On the Road, and it's also where he wrote the book Dharma Bums. Jack Kerouac was from a group of writers called the Beat Generation. Basically, post-World War II, instead of following the typical American dream, the Beat Generation took off across America to discover the truth of life through direct experience, self-reliance, and self-expression.
He moved in here right at the beginning of September of 1957. Soon after that, he went to New York City because On the Road was about to be released and have a big party. Left here, this kind of no-name writer. Well, of course, by the time he came back, he was just this national phenomenon. The book just was a huge, smashing success right out the door. So he became instantly famous.
This is a chair in which Jack Kerouac actually sat. So Mark, I know that you are a huge Jack Kerouac fan. Sitting in a chair that Jack Kerouac sat in, reading Jack Kerouac book in his former home, feelings, thoughts?
A lot of emotions. This is certainly a form of pilgrimage for me, 100%. Jack Kerouac is undoubtedly one of the most influential writers in my life. And this is the house where he wrote Dharma Bums, which is my favorite Jack Kerouac book. It's really cool. I have not read this book for a healthy 10 years, but to be in the place where it was written, maybe I will conjure his spirit.
What I really love about this house and this neighborhood is that we're just surrounded by these big, beautiful old trees covered in Spanish moss. It's cool now that it's been turned into, you know, a writer's residence. So just met the young lady who's inside. She's here writing a novel. Very, very cool.
Let us know. What is your favorite Kerouac novel? And put it in the comment section. But we also got a nice little book here, Kerouac in Florida.
Well, guys and girls, it has been a long day exploring, and we've made it to downtown Orlando.
Downtown Orlando is pretty chill. There's all these bungalows, there's a few historic buildings. This whole place was kind of developed in the late 1800s during the citric boom when Florida was growing the oranges and other citric fruits that it's still known for.
Definitely burned some calories today. Probably burned our skin a little bit, but I want to burn my tongue. So we are heading to have some kind of Asian fusion tacos.
Today Orlando is a really diverse city. There's a large Chinese population, there's a large Latin population. So we're gonna go see where those two worlds collide here at Taco China.
I'm gonna be completely honest here, and I'm gonna throw out another old school movie reference, but one of my favorite things about this place is right when I walked in, I saw the masks, had a childhood flashback. They have the masks from the Three Ninjas. All right, you guys, well, the food has arrived. Everything looks super good, and the smells that are coming off of this are incredible. Especially digging the taste. I kind of snuck a little taste of the Tom Yum shrimp taco. Looks bomb. But that pernil pulled pork looks incredible. We got a wide array of salsas that actually have a lot of Asian ingredients in them. So we're gonna stop talking, we're gonna start eating. Let's go.
What's cool is it's not just Chinese, Mexican, or Korean tacos. It's kind of pan-Asian. It's got Indian dishes, Korea, China, and the result is just awesome.
Thank you. Well, we've feasted, and now it's time to end the evening with a little sundowner. So we're gonna grab a cocktail at a place called the Matador.
Cheers.
Oh, it's been pretty fun today, man. Honestly, I am very pleasantly surprised. I was totally blown away by the nature, the springs, the paddleboarding, the wildlife, getting up close and personal with some little gators and turtles and stuff. Super cool. Not to mention ending it all with a nice cocktail.
It's the way to end it, man. Kerouac's house for me was a ultimate pilgrimage, and those tacos, more specifically the arepas, have blown my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and say the best fusion food I have ever eaten. Kerouac shaped my dreams in my 20s, but Taco China might shape my dreams in my 30s.
Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because we are not finished. Tomorrow morning we are heading to St. Augustine, and we're gonna hit St. Augustine and Jacksonville. So make sure that you guys stay tuned. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe and enable notifications.
In the meantime, stay curious, keep exploring, we'll see you guys on the road. And don't forget, when you reach the top of the mountain, climb farther. Cheers.